Hi everyone, it's Koinzell here. So today I'm going to bring you guys a guide on some tips on how best to optimize your farming, how to choose the best farming spot in terms of knowledge gain for, in general, for all of the CP maps, all of the Hadum maps. So before I start, right, just want to say I see a lot of questions coming in about Hadum. So keep them coming. Based on your questions, I've been doing up guides on that. So I've already done one on like the Blackberry mode. Today I'll cover the farming spot, and if I have time, maybe I'll cover stuff like whether or not address the concern about the yellow skill books not being dropped in Hadum. Okay, so let's see. First off, right, let's look at the map itself. Now it's very straightforward in terms of the Hadum knowledge, right? I think in terms of CP, you guys can see it, so I'm not going to talk about the CP. I mean, naturally, you should clear all the lower CP as soon as possible. And by that, I will mean that like stuff like no, sorry, it should be in Hadum. Hadum should have the lowest one. Yeah, so 4k CP, obviously you should clear all of this. And the general tip I want to give, right, is you'll notice that certain mobs, spawn rate of certain mobs, right, are very low per specific spot. So I will just use this map as an example because I remember this as one of the map that I had to go repeat myself due to the fact that there are some mobs that are very rare. So this mob is the one that is very rare. There's typically only one at each spawn spot. Likewise for this mob. So what this means is that every time you go to the Hadum map, each time you're in the Hadum map, right, before you actually just start farming based on the spot, what you should do is actually to go one round around the map, go and see which are the mobs that have a very low spawn. You can try using this to help you. This system here, so that it will show it on the map. Yeah, I just want to show you guys this tool and you know what I mean. Okay, I remember the good spot being over here. So you see here, right, look at the map, there's only 1 to 2 green dots per map. This is what I mean by some of the mobs, the spawn rate is so low that you have to be careful on the spot that you are choosing. Okay, otherwise what will happen is that you'll be farming in the specific spot in the map without doing any of these rare mobs, and you will end up having to spend a lot of time in the maps here, because after you already max out the knowledge for all of these non-green dot mobs, right, you end up having to come back here and just get this to level 5 with only one particular mob at the spot, while you are still killing a lot of the other mobs. This is what I mean by optimizing. In general, for every Hadum map, you should always check it out, do one round, check out where are the rare mobs, and based on that, select a spot with the rare mobs. Your focus is to get the rare mob to level 5 knowledge, because by the time you do that, the rest of the mobs will definitely hit level 5 before that. Before you even hit level 5 for the rare mob, you will hit level 5 for all of these mobs, all of these common mobs. So that is how you should do it in terms of the knowledge gain. In terms of optimizing your knowledge gain for every map, that's what you should do. Okay, so for this map I remember it clearly, so I can show you guys that this is a spot these are the spots that you should go to. In fact, okay, let me see. You'll see that there's only one of the captain and one of the mage here, so this is one spot, but not that good in terms of the mod density. This here is not too bad. No, sorry, not here. You need to find this. This guy is the most rare. So you can do a spot over here, for example, if you're a ranged character, or even a melee. Okay. So this map is just one example. I won't be showing all maps. Doesn't make sense. Plus, I don't remember every single one. I just remember this clearly because this was one of the ones I had to come back and farm. Oh, wait, wrong way. Okay. Let me see if I can remember any other maps. I remember this map also had one of the spawns being a bit more rare than the rest. Else. Okay, this map deserves a mention because this map is a map where you have no choice but to go farm multiple spots for the map. Because of the way the mobs are designed, they segregate the mobs per region. So there's no one spot where you have a lot of mobs. This is a exception to the tip that I just gave in terms of trying to optimize your farming. So obviously the late game mobs are all here. That's the good. This is the best place to start farming first. But in terms of getting the knowledge for the chimeras, you have no choice but to go all the way to the front of the map. Oh, a special mention I should give to violent mobs. The violent mob Spoils of War is separate from the normal Hadum Spoils of War. So you should try to choose a spot with violent mob when you're doing farming and not knowledge farming. If you're doing knowledge farming and you can find one, that's good too. So it has a separate cooldown from the normal Hadum Spoils of War. Yeah? Which, in other words, you notice that you only have one pet on cooldown when you are in Hadum. With the violent mob, you will have two. Okay, so other than the Chimera, there's also one region here where the Sawnew, that has been modified, you also need to farm them here. It's not in the final spot. And these are the Chimeras that I'm talking about. They are only here in this region, so you have no choice but to spend time here farming their knowledge up before you can farm the rest of the mobs here. Okay. Okay. So that is the gist of it in terms of how to choose the best spot to farm in each map. Go one round, find and see which are the ones that are rare, like what I just showed just now. There's like only one. The worst are the spots with only one rare mob per the entire spot. So those are the ones that you definitely want to be farming at, because by the time you get a rare mob to level 5, you will get all of the rest of them to level 5. Okay, so that's one important thing to note, so that you don't waste time farming on don't waste too much time farming on the low CP maps. Let me see. Let me try to recall if there's any of them that were particularly harder to get. I think this map also has mobs that are very scattered. This mage is the one that is very scattered. Yeah, this one is the one that is very rare. So you should find a spot with more of the mages. That's what I remember. This mod also has because there's a whole lot of mobs. I remember there was one mob that was very rare. I can't remember whether it was the mage or the archer. Typically the rare mobs are usually at the very last, so you can start searching from there. They are usually at the very last of the list. Okay, so that's one additional tip I can give to you guys. Search based on that. Okay, that will help a lot. Let's see, what else? For the low CP maps, in fact the hardest ones are those with like really big open field, where you really have to spend time farming on different spots. Yeah, you kind of got no choice for that. But in my opinion, the worst are still the rare mobs one, because you feel like you are wasting your time trying to get just one mob's knowledge up. That's the worst part of it in my opinion. You guys don't have Valencia North yet, so I don't need to show that. For the late game mobs, right? Luckily, there's no rare mobs. Oh, there is actually. There is. This Vice Captain is very rare. Yeah, this Vice Captain is very rare. So basically, every region you will have a map with like some rare mobs, and you have to take your time to farm them. I think for this, there is also a rare mob for the Bogan series. It's actually not the final list. It's actually some mini warrior, like an infant warrior kind of thing. That is the one that really is very rare spawn. Was it the Naga one? I'm sorry, I had my knowledge full for quite a bit of time, so I don't really remember exactly. But I do know that for the either the Naga or the Bogans, there are also some rare mobs as well. Okay. This map also, the red odds, right, are the ones where... Okay, this is not so bad. The one where there's a whole bunch of different mobs, that also has quite a few rare spawns. Ah, okay, the Apprentice, this is the one. The Apprentice Spearman, as well as the Apprentice X-Men, these two are rare mobs. So make sure when you are in this map, which is the Naga map, make sure that Naga Swarm map, make sure that you look for them. Okay. Let me just turn on the Naga Swarm if I were to do a literal translation. Yeah. And you will notice that there are some maps with the same type of mobs, but there are differences. Like for example, right, the last of that mob of the series of the maps will have the stronger mobs, but they may not necessarily have the first few weaker mobs. It really varies from map to map. So that's why I say you got to take the time, go to the map, try to go one round, look at and find out what are the rare mobs, and then farm the rare mobs spots first. The rest of them, the knowledge will naturally come. So I have tried to share based on my knowledge which are the rare ones already. I hope it's helpful. I guess that is it in terms of how to choose a good spot to farm, at least for a knowledge gain. And if you still don't know which spots to farm, it's very straightforward. Just go for the low CP ones. Okay, which map to farm, right? You always go for the low CP map from low to high. Okay? And for spots wise, use the tips that I've just shared. Alright. Now, the video is a bit longer than I expected, but I guess I can still talk about the yellow skill boots. I see quite a number of people asking me about these skills, stating that because Allion maps don't drop the yellow skill boots, whether or not they should be farming that. Whether they should still be farming Hadum. Let me put it this way. Your skill levels are capped at level 10. There is a cap to it. Eventually, yellow skill boots will become much easier to get, such that even the F2P players on Taiwan server, those that have played for very long, are already all level 10, their skills. Those that have not played for long, then maybe they are something like level 9. So, it's an absolute waste to go and farm Allion maps just for the yellow skill boots. Okay? Don't do that. It is a foolish decision, honestly speaking. Unless you're trying to save your Hadum potions, then that's a different story. But if you're doing Allion just because of yellow skill boots, that is a no-no. Alright? Because Stone of Balance, the Rift Stone, your Dark Currency, your SP Scrolls, etc., your Shadow Knot eventually when you have Hadum Boss Rush, when you have World Boss, you also have this item introduced. All of these items, they do not have any cap. The Rift Stone has no cap. And Riftstone, I can tell you, is one of the hardest thing to catch up to other players that are higher than you. So don't sacrifice your Hadum farming for some yellow skill boosts. Those will come naturally in future. What you need is to get as many Chaos Crystals as you can for the Riftstone, as well as your Dark Currency, because Dark Currency is very important. That is one of the way that you can get your fragments. I remember my pin gear, a lot of it is actually contributed by Dark Currency. Okay? So don't worry about yellow skill boosts really. They will come naturally. Yeah? What is important for Hadum is Chaos Crystal. And of course your character level SP, seeing as you guys, you have gotten the same patch as us, which is no level limit at all. For us, right, in the past we had 75 and then 80. It was only after 80 that we got no level limit. In fact, I think the level cap might be at 100. Need to look at the Korean broadcaster when they eventually hit it. But basically what I'm trying to say is, please farm Hadum. Please, okay, let me put it the other way around. Please do not farm Elion just for yellow skill boosts. Okay? Your priority should still be on Hadum. You can farm Elion only if your Hadum potions, you are running out of your Hadum potions, your holy vows. Okay? That is it. Alright. I think that is good enough for today's video guide. If you guys have any other questions, let me know, and I'll see if there's a need to do a video guide on that. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. See you guys next video. Bye.